Good evening and welcome to Series 2, Episode 5 of Ox Sports Unleashed. Yes, we've been back in your living rooms, your jacuzzis, your sheds, your greenhouses, wherever you watch us. We're back in there, and thank you for joining us on this sort of dank and dark and miserable Thursday evening. So hopefully we can put a bit of joy in your houses tonight with all the sports roundup around Oxfordshire. And back by unpopular demand is Roller Coaster Ryde,
thanks for that.
which is really pleasing for me because I've now got a professional with me again, rather than that other chap that normally sits there that, you know, just sits there really.
Well, he's been detained by Thames Valley Police, hasn't he?
Normally.
Yeah. He claims to work for them, but we're not too sure, obviously.
We're not sure.
No.
We're not sure. But stay tuned tonight. We've got lots coming up. My little escapade into dodgeball will be coming up later. We've got all the usual football roundup, some adverts for Chinner Rugby and Oxford Saints American football, and we've got a recurring guest. Young Ben Cox will be joining us later. Looking forward to talking to the young man through his season, and there's some footage that I have to say that Wes Spearman's put together is absolutely fantastic. So stay tuned tonight because we've got lots to offer for you, and as always, if you want to send us any clips, you can do that by sending us an email at oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed, down there, look, at gmail.com. And we will use it. And the recurring one is, I will show that goal eventually. We've got some. We have got some contenders for goal of the season coming up tonight. So again, quite exciting few goals to share with you tonight as well. So stay tuned, and hopefully we can have a good ride through the show. Ding, yeah. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to pass on to Colin.
Yeah, we start off with football, and Oxford City were at home Saturday to Southport. Here's how they picked up a point in a 1-1 draw.
Ross, a 1-1 draw at home to Southport. What are your thoughts on that one?
I was a bit disappointed with their goal. I think that's sort of still at the front of my mind. Really soft free kick, I must say. I was disappointed with the amount of fouls we didn't get on Josh Parker and Zach McEachran at times, and that soft one sort of determined a free kick that led to their goal. And we've got to do better with the goal. The first contact and second ball, Kai's made a good save, got to follow in and clear that. But overall, I thought we were pretty superb today. Our shape was really good, disciplined. First half, I thought we were the better team. We had a good 30-minute spell. Second half, they changed it up and just went direct, back to front really early. We had to weather that, we had to fan out and go and head the ball and defend. And it was scrappy at times, really scrappy, but that's the National League North at the times. We worked it well. But overall, yeah, disappointed with their goal. Thrilled with ours, great goal, looking at the back post. Really good performance. And I think just another step in the right direction because we've got loads more work to do. The boys have taken a lot on board in the last few weeks. Today we saw another glimpse of them working the shape really well and being disciplined and doing the basics well, and I think a point is fair.
Ross Jenkins there. Quite a frank little interview that actually. I thought it was a good minute or so there. A good roundup of that game actually, so fair play to Ross, and another decent result for Oxford City going forward. We will have their midweek action later on in the programme, so stay tuned for that, and also our interview with young Ben Cox, so please do so. That takes us to our normal roundup with our two people, Lock and Ryde. No roar of the Lion again this week. He was stuck in an underground car park in London, so I was unable to join the couple that I like to call Cagney and Lacey. So this week, Lock and Ryde, here's the roundup for the week.
Patrick Lock, you were at City's game reporting for the non-league football paper on Saturday. You gave that game 3 out of 5 stars, but your star man award went to City's Tom Scott. What was it about his performance that made you see stars in your eyes, Patrick?
Yeah, I just thought he had a really good game. He was all kind of all over the place. Played well. His passing was good. And yeah, I just thought he was overall man of the match. And I mean, there's a lot of City players that could have really have been given that. I mean, Josh Parker was great. Zach was good as always, and Jacob Roddy's goal as well. He could have got a man of the match, but Tom Scott just nicked it for me.
All right, Patrick, take us through the rest of the weekend's local football results. Give us a sneak look at the tables that have affected Patrick.
Yeah, Banbury United, I would start with them as always, and they were beaten at home against Hitchin Town. They did lead at half-time, actually, through George Ball, but 2 goals in the final 20 minutes saw the visitors take the points, which left Banbury 9th in the division, and a win would have seen them level on points with the playoff positions. Simon Holyhead was a very frustrated man as he spoke to Dave England of Puritans Radio after the game.
Thoughts on today's game?
Incredibly infuriating, incredibly disappointing result. Yeah, I can't think of many stronger words that are legally said at 5:15 on a Saturday.
What would you put that down to, today's result?
Just thought
performance?
we lacked the killer instinct. I think everyone could see we had pretty good control in the first half. We deserved to be in front at half time. And then start the second half, it seemed a little bit of, continuation. But we all know football can throw surprises and throw situations up when you're only 1-0 up. So that's essentially what led to the last 30 minutes.
Didcot Town, they were involved in a thriller, actually. They came from behind 3 times to draw 3-3 at Tavistock on Saturday. After going behind early on, Connor Barrett levelled for the first time, and after going behind again, Cameron McNeil got the second, but they trailed 3-2 at the break. Barrett grabbed a third, though, after the break, just after the hour mark, and that's how the game ended there. Jamie Heapy reacted to that crazy game, really, with Daz King from the Didcot media team after the match.
Jamie, hey, mate, sum that one up, mate.
Could have been 5 each, 6 each. No, listen, come away from home and get a point was good. Give them bad goals, give some bad goals away. What's the score after that? 3-2, wasn't it? Yeah, so disappointed to go in. We didn't start right. We looked as though we were still on the coach and all that rubbish, and we just didn't, we didn't put the ball in the right area, didn't get up the pitch, didn't. Just do the basics and get it out away from our goal and get up the pitch, away from home. And we got punished, really, because, like I said, bad goals away, but we scored some good goals. One disallowed, I think, was harsh. Adam, I think Eder was onside, but, they were the post at the end. We had some chances, Gents and Pat, and could have gone either way, but I suppose on reflection, a point's probably.
Away from home as well. You're probably coming all this way. You probably go take.
We had to dig in at the end. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't a pretty game at all. It was a scrap. It was what we expected, to be fair, because we said when you travel all this way, pitches are getting heavier. We've got to roll our sleeves up and fight for one another, really. And we had some. Don't get me wrong. We had some good performances. But when you score 3 away from home, I think. On reflection, you probably should win the game.
Tame United had a crazy game of their own, actually. They came from 2-0 down to beat Biggleswade on Saturday. It was just after the hour mark that the comeback began. Dan West scoring the goal to get them back in it before Braden Daniel scored twice with just under 15 minutes to go to keep up Thames' good start to the season and keeping up with pace with the playoff positions. But unfortunately, everyone above them still seems to be winning. So they're still sixth place, but they're still 3 points behind those positions. So still a good start for Thames there. However, Northley and Kidlington both defeated the former of those two, beaten 3-0 at Ancient Park to Aylesbury United. Kidlington succumbing to a 5-1 defeat away at leaders Real Bedford. The two Oxfordshire sides, unfortunately, still remaining in the relegation zone in the Southern League Division 1 Central there. In step 5, then Easington Sports were denied 3 points right at the death against Leicester Nirvana. Easington led early on through an Elliot Barton goal, but right at the death in the 90th minute, the header saw Leicester snatch a point there. So unfortunate for Easington there. In the Combined Counties League, and unfortunately no goals for any Oxfordshire sides, Wallingford and Crowmarsh did get a point with a goalless draw away at Broadfields United. But Ardley United were beaten 3-0 against Bedford Sports, and Virginia Water beat Milton United 1-0. So no wins there for our Oxfordshire sides. Hellenic Division 1, there was a couple of wins though. Wantage Town came from a goal down to beat Redditch Borough 2-1 at Alfredian Park. Steve Robertson scored twice in 10 minutes actually in the second half to see them to 3 points there. Kidlington Reserves beat Newent Town 3-1 at home, but Carterton were defeated in an 8-goal game actually. They fell to a 5-3 defeat at home to FC Stratford, so a bit of a goal fest there. Sunday, Oxford United women progressed to the next round of the Women's FA Cup in style actually, with a 5-0 win against Actonians. They led 3-0 at the break with goals from Jenna Legg, Sarah King and Phoebe Poole. And then 2 goals after the break from Lucy Trinder sealed that convincing win for them there to see them through to the next round. Abingdon United were held to a goalless draw away at Maidenhead United in the Women's National League South Division 1. And Oxford City were on the end of a heavy 4-1 defeat actually to Wycombe Wanderers in the Southern Region Women's Football League. So that's what happened on Saturday, Colin, and Sunday.
Indeed, yep. Thanks a lot, Patrick, and back to the main studio for much more Ox Sports Unleashed.
Thanks there to Lock and Ryde, Cagney and Lacey this week. Where do you get a roundup like that in Oxfordshire for football? You don't, basically. So, join us here on Ox Sports Unleashed, where later on in the programme we will have a full results service and upcoming fixtures of where you can go and see some of your local teams this week. You cannot get that anywhere else but Ox Sports Unleashed. So we are providing a little bit of a service there, and do go and support these teams. They will really appreciate you going along, and there's some good football played actually.
Football, yeah.
So do that. Colin.
Yeah, next up then, Whitney Town continued their revival on Saturday, and here's how they bagged another point against Woodstock Town.
Frustrating afternoon, but a point is a point. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, absolutely. It is frustrating not to take all 3 points, but I felt that sometimes you just need to hold your hands up and think that, you know, we played exceptionally well. They were a great side that we played against. We knew they were going to be good on the surface. Likewise to us, it was a duel, but they came with a fight as well. They were aggressive. Yeah, I was just really pleased of the reaction that we showed from last week, to be honest with you. You know, we spoke before the game that we needed to have one, and they certainly did that today. I felt like maybe we had the more clear-cut chances. That's why I think we should have got the 3 points, but it wasn't to be. But that's football, you know. We know we need to work on that. I spoke before that we need to score more goals. Again, we only scored 1 today, when we could have had 2 or 3. So yeah, we know we need to work on. That's something that we will look forward to doing in the future at training. But yeah, it was a real tough one to take, because I felt like we could have gained 3 points from that and really started to climb up the ladder, which was a real shame today. But yeah, we go again next week, never mind.
So Ben Reardon there, chatting after that 1-1 draw. And I did like the reaction of Chris Young, former Oxford United player, number 3 in the white shirt there, when they conceded that equalising goal. He was not a happy man, was he?
It was like he was doing the Mexican wave on his own.
Yeah, arms in the air.
It was quite funny.
Yeah, but anyway, things like that happen in football, don't they, as we know. Right, Woodsy, what's next up?
Well, the next up is Oxford City Stars, obviously in action again last weekend. And I think we've got a couple of slides here just to show the results there. Obviously, it was a bad loss, unfortunately, against Victor Dynamos. What a great name that is for ice hockey. The goal scorers again, Tidings, McKirk and Churu, for Oxford City Stars, but ran out losing there 9-3. And then coming up this weekend, fixtures on the 9th of November, the Midnight Stars are playing Solent Amazons. What another great name. At home. Face Off, because I love that as well. Face Off at 4:40 p.m. And then on the 10th of November, the City Stars versus Streatham Redhawks away, and the face-off there is 6:45 p.m. And like I say it every week, if you're at a loss when Oxford City Stars are at home, get along to the Ox Pens, because it's great entertainment and so much that you can do there. Actually, it's you've got to wrap up.
Absolutely, do wrap up warm. Yeah,
it's great entertainment. You'll be enthralled by it. You really will.
Right, a couple of weeks back, the Oxfordshire team went down to John Mason School in Abingdon to sample dodgeball. Coming up next for you, see how many balls Darryl managed to dodge.
Probably not many.
Not many. Okay.
So dodgeball has gone through several evolutions at the moment, and it's a real growing sport, mainly because we're trying to, I guess, put you in line with the US a little bit. But it's an awesome sport. It's very easy to pick up. So 6 versus 6, 5 balls played. Essentially, it's a very back and forth game where you aim to try and either hit an opponent by throwing the ball at them, catch them out, and get a team member back. It's essentially an elimination game. So dodging is the little thing, facet of the game. There's a few different wings of it. So obviously there's the dodging. There's catching. So if someone throws it, if you can catch it, then you get team member back and they're out. So it's double points. If you can throw really well, that's great. If you can block with the ball, that's an amazing strategy. So you can kind of defend your team members, kind of retain the ball retention. Also, if you're going to go out, you can actually just ricochet it up for your team members to get a follow-up catch. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade at that point. Going for the nice. Oh, really? That's it. So there's the regional league and national league. National league follows a little bit like how the football league's set up. So you've got a men's league 3, 2, 1, and then you've got the Super League. Currently playing in men's league 2. Starts to get quite competitive at that level, but we've got a good chance to move up potentially. So we've got some good showings. Super League, they are incredible players. They're all round, could probably solo quite a lot of teams on their own. So it's it's another level like that.
That was quite interesting. Some of the calls I'm getting used to. Some of the calls I'm not getting used to whatsoever. So, but it's frenetic and it's keeping your eye on what's happening because they don't always throw.
So there we go. We don't need a defibrillator. We don't need oxygen. Woodsy has finished his first ever effort and go at dodgeball. Woodsy, what did you make of that? Tiring, by the way.
It was tiring. I love the tactics of attacking a certain player on the opposition, whether it might only be one person throwing, it might be all 3 of you throwing, all 4 of you throwing, if you've got 4 balls your side. I like the idea of if you're defending on the wings. And the great thing is if you're have got a ball in your hand and you're not throwing and somebody goes at you and you can deflect the ball, that's really quite exciting. And also, which I failed miserably, was trying to catch. I put myself down as a good catcher, but today I couldn't get my body behind the ball. You all right? Yeah, good. I'll pause it on
That looked tremendous fun, Woodsy. So seriously, yeah.
I have to be honest. I don't know how much of the interview was played there, but I thoroughly enjoyed the evening. They were very kind to me. They weren't throwing balls at me every single second. I think it'd been quite funny actually if they had done, but. That's quite an interesting one.
It's not countryside.
We went into country file then for a while, didn't we?
Sorry about that.
I blame the producer, don't you?
Yeah, okay, right.
That is quite funny.
Just work with it, okay?
This presenter's now lost it, but that's quite funny.
Anyway, look,
it was
John Mason
tremendous.
School.
John Mason School on a Monday night, 7:30 to 9:30. Get along there if you're interested in dodgeball. Again, some of the rules and some of the tactics are really fascinating, actually, and it makes it a really exciting game. I didn't quite get that. Sometimes you throw, sometimes you don't, who you're targeting on the opposition and things like that. There is a lot of tactics, and when there's two of you left in the court, you tend to go on the wings and stuff like that. So there's lots of things. It's not just throwing a ball. There's a lot of tactics. There's a lot involved, and what great fun it is. I mean, they're riding high. They're second in the league there. They've got some national championships coming up as well, and we wish them all the very best of luck. Oxford Thunder Dodge, like I say, John Mason School, Monday nights, 7:30 to 9:30. Get along there, and it's great fun, great fitness.
I'll tell you what impressed me the most is the fact you were doing that with your dodgy knees. I mean, that was seriously, not long after an operation as well.
I have to be honest, Colin, I thought I was going to be doing it for about 5 or 10 minutes. I was actually on court for 90 minutes, and I was blowing. I've got to be honest. It doesn't look like I'm doing too much there, but dodging one way or the other. Yeah, AKA Vince Vaughan, I know. Somebody did mention on social media, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, I think. So I'll use that. But yeah, absolutely loved it. If they are talking about doing a Masters competition, actually, for older gentlemen and ladies. So, if you're thinking about that, they will be the place to go to. They will signpost you. Yeah. So great fun. Thanks again to everybody there. They made us so welcome. I can't say that, highly enough, to be honest. So brilliant. Thank you. That takes us quite nicely on to segment just before we have our special studio guest in the hot seat. I'll call it the hot seat. Ben Cox will be joining me very shortly. But first, we wanted to see how he did in the Walter Hayes Trophy. And Wes Spearman has put this really nice piece together about the young man's journey over last weekend at Silverstone.
The Walter Hayes Trophy, the most prestigious event in Formula Ford racing, took over Silverstone last weekend, with Banbury's Ben Cox taking part in his final races of the season. The event first launched in 2001 and has seen names such as touring car racer Gordon Shedden, Oxford-born driver Alice Powell, and three-time W Series champion Jamie Chadwick take part. The weekend began with qualifying with 4 heats to follow. Ben sealed 10th place in Saturday morning's qualifying and took place in Heat 4 in the afternoon. The heat saw an 8-lap race around the Silverstone National Circuit, 1.64 miles starting on what is the old start-finish line, through Cops Corner and into Maggots before the right-hander of Beckett's, leading onto the Wellington Straight and finally through the Luffield hairpin. An accident on the opening lap saw 3 cars taken out of the race, with Ben expertly avoiding the scene as he climbed to 7th place. At the front, Rory Smith and Jason Smith built up a gap to the rest of the pack, as Ben looked to battle Will Liston, but contact between Fisher and Bezuidenhout saw both drivers go off track at the end of the Wellington Straight. This brought Ben up to 4th position, but with Australian Will Liston hot on his tail. Liston looked to make a move on the inside of Cops, but Ben held his nerve around the outside and maintained track position, whilst Liston lost out to Bezuidenhout. The battle between the two Smiths raged on as Bezuidenhout took P4 from Ben with 1 lap to go, as the boy from Banbury had just over 1.5 miles to keep off the Australian Liston. But Ben crept back to the South African Bezuidenhout, but fell just 0.08 of a second shy of 4th place, with Liston just 14 tenths behind Ben for P6. A strong result for Ben, finishing in P5 saw him into the 12-lap semi-final on Sunday, lining up in 9th place on the grid, but an issue with Hugh Esterson saw him promoted to 8th. Ben held position off the line and again managed to stay clear of another lap 1 incident, although he dropped down to 12th later in the lap. A fairly calm race ensued for Ben after he regained P11 from Tom Liston on the third lap, and the two drivers remained separated by no more than a third of a second for the remainder of the race. So 11th saw Ben qualify for the grand final on Sunday afternoon and a packed grid of 36 cars, with Ben starting in 21st. Ben got a good start off the line and looked to make a move around the outside of Copse to snatch 20th with a lock-up by 19th place Cam Jackson, allowing Ben round the outside of Beckett's to steal the position onto the Wellington straight. By the end of the second lap, Ben made his way into 16th with a three-way scrap across the line, but that was the last of the good news for the boy from Banbury, as an engine issue caused Ben to lose power and drop back to 24th. And so the curtain closed on another season of Formula Ford, with the 2025 championship set to get underway next April. Back to the studio for more Ox Sports Unleashed.
Again, I think we can all agree what a fantastic piece that was. Thank you, Wes, our motor sport expert. He really did an excellent job on that. And the eagle-eyed among this year, I haven't used that catchphrase this series, will notice that Colin has vacated the seat and I've been joined by young Ben Cox. So, Ben, welcome again. Great to have you back on Ox Sports Unleashed. How have you been?
Oh, I've been all right, thank you. Trying to get everything in order, and thanks for having me back. Is that your special catchphrase line just for introducing me? I don't know. That must be the favourite line.
It could be. It's one of my favourites. My favourites. Just take us a little bit about through since we last saw you, your season during 2024. How did it go, and were you happy with what you achieved during the season?
I want to say, considering I've had 0 additional days of testing, I'm quite pleased with how the season has ended up, with 4th in the championship, fighting for the win in the last race at Snetterton, before unfortunately ending it in the wall. But despite that being a very frustrating end, it was still a really positive show of performance to show that I can race at the front, and I know it's in me, particularly in the rain. I'm always much further up there in the rain. So it's still hugely positive from that side. Across the season as well, it's been great in development and trying to find ways to push myself in new ways, as well as pre-race, and I can't filter my words. But yeah, great mentions as well across the season. And it's been a great year of finding ways to drive the car better than it has been, because I've been having to adapt from the Ray chassis to the Van Diemen chassis as well, which has been another crucial part in development across the season.
Yeah, so you're happy generally of what's happened through the season then, really? Yeah,
it's been positive. We finished 13 out of 14 races as well, which I don't know if any other driver did that. I think that's the most finishes across the season as well. Excellent. Which would have been, consistency is key, of course. You can be fast, but if you can't finish half the races sort of thing, then you're never going to get points. It's that kind of scenario.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Now, you've brought in a few things. I'm going to bring this up.
Don't hit the helmet, please.
I won't hit the helmet. Well, you never know.
I'll move it across a little bit.
This is lower wishbone, is this?
Yes.
Can you just explain what this is to the audience?
It's a piece of suspension from the car. It attaches to the lower part of the hub, which is where the wheel bolts onto. So you've got your wheel, and then you have a hub, which it ends off with like 2 sort of extended bits where this bolts onto. And obviously, one side is to the hub, one side is to the car, and obviously it keeps the car off the ground. So without that, you're doomed.
Understand, right? That's see. These are exclusive things. You don't get this, on Top Gear, do you? So,
Clarkson.
Thank you for that. I've got to pick this up again because I know how light this is.
Yep.
I just.
It's a bit dirty as well from Silverstone.
Coxie on the back there. Look at that. Just brilliant. Brilliant. I absolutely love that. Now, there's a couple of other things here. Just explain these things here. You might need to move that out the way again.
Oh, you can see it. This comes with a little protective, bag or whatever you call it. But these little blue pieces, I don't know if you can see them very well or not, but these are little ear pieces, and they slot into your ears. That's what Formula 1 drivers get, these as well. And they were specially made by my sponsor, SJB Hearing at New Street. They sit in like that, if you can see it. They're flush with my ear, so when the helmet comes down, it it goes in, and it's got a filter inside the ears to where it reduces excessive noise levels from car engines and stuff like that. So you're losing your hearing as much.
So that's SJB
hearing. Yes.
Yep. Cool. Nice little shout out for the sponsor there, which is good.
Yeah, they're very handy. These things are as well. So
no, that's good. Obviously, the Walter Hayes Trophy. Is that the first time you've raced in that particular trophy?
I raced last year in it as well with my old team Suli. This is the first time I've obviously come here with James for that event, but I raced at Silverstone in April, of course, this year. But I was much faster this time round purely from the development I've learned throughout the season. I've learned and applied to get myself around the track faster. I don't remember how fast exactly I was, but I know I came faster. And that was the case with most tracks this season, which is what the advantage of being in a good, a team who's got that extra bit of data and, more development, more knowledge, things like that. Any extra bonuses perhaps that you might be able to apply to the car and the driver together, and again, half a second in a day or something like that, it does develop well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Which is your favourite track to race
on? I would say racing is probably Silverstone because it's so wide, and you have it's very wide and very overtaking opportunities, and it's really fast flowing as well. Probably the favourite track to nail a perfect lap on, I would say, is probably Brands Hatch, because it's really hard to get right, but when you do get right, it's really satisfying.
Oh, good stuff. So just take us through, what does now the season's over, what does your winter now look like then? What's happening?
Just training hard, just trying to get any kind of sponsorship in if we can, if possible, which I'm hoping we can do, because our seasons are really dependent on budget. So if we could do that, that'd be a great start, obviously. So I'll be doing a bunch of networking over the winter, training hard, obviously, at the gym, doing fitness 3 times a week, and then a run on the weekends. I do that as well. Obviously, we've got a bit of Christmas. I've seen you guys again doing your challenge. Your challenge Kdog as well.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for that.
I've even thought of another one for you at some time. It's not racing related, but yeah. That's pretty much my plan.
If it's hurting my co-presenter, that's fine. It's not a problem.
You're asking me to spar him and just give him a few harder knocks?
Well,
I'm not going to do that. I'm not that mean.
Don't tell him.
I'm not that mean.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, is he? Oh, damn.
I'm sure you got an idea of what you do.
I think you got away with it, Ben, to be fair.
I think we'll be all right, don't we?
We'll be fine.
We can always do some other alternate routes, but yeah.
That's good. No, we will take you up on that, because that would be good. I will mention something at the end, actually, that I'm quite interested in. You'll be interested in as well, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
So the winter's like that, plenty of fitness still to do. What's the sort of highlights for the season 2025? What are you looking to do?
Well, we're just to simply be at the track. That at the minute, the last few years has been, if we can make it to compete in the race at the track, that is the best we can get. If we can get any kind of additional funding to get the additional test days or something before, especially if it's a new track, that can help hugely. Like Castle Combe and Liddon Hill this year, the first time we've ever been to those tracks, and it took me the whole weekend to get up to speed and get onto nearly the race leader's pace sort of thing. Liddon Hill, I think I was 5th in one race and 4th in the other, something like that. Castle Combe, I was 5th in one and I got on the podium in the second one. But again, it took a whole day to get to a point where I was like that. Versus we got a new track this season as well for 2025, which is Anglesey. I've never been there, so if I could have 1 or 2 additional test days before that could make a huge difference.
That sounds really good. Being on the podium, what's that like? I gotta ask.
Well, I didn't get to see Kdog's coming. Don't worry, I'm not that mean. I may sound it, but I'm not that bad. I just don't have a filter apparently, so that's what I get told. So, but yeah, I didn't find out I was on the podium at Combe until after I got home, because there was a post-race penalty for a car ahead, which promoted me. So I didn't know, but across the line it was neck and neck anyways, between me and third on the track anyway. So that was exciting. But when you get on the podium, it's a great feeling. Because particularly as I haven't had it often in the last few years on the competitive grids, and I was fighting for third in the championship. But when you do get on the podium, you kind of think, yes, I've achieved this. This is an achievement. I've got a trophy or whatever to bring it back, and I'll remember this for a while now, sort of thing. And I remember the details of how the race went and all that.
Yeah, that's lovely. I think it's a great little story as well. What I was going to say to you, on a week on Sunday, I'm having an Aston Martin experience at Dalton Barracks. So, there could be some, hopefully no crashes.
You're not in Aston.
No, because I have to pay for the insurance. So you have to be a bit careful on that. I'm a bit nervous. Can you give me any tips for driving around a race circuit? What anything I should know or do?
Well,
avoid other cars.
Well, that's one. Obviously,
probably one.
First of all, you've got to apply the common sense to it, like you do on the road. Obviously, you give cars space and stuff like that. You want to hit the apexes. If you have a hairpin, for example, which is a 90 degrees runner wrap, the simple way of explaining it, you have obviously the entry, which you want to be as far over to the right as you can if we're going into a left-hand hairpin. You want to hit the apex, and which will be around either the middle or the very end of the curb, depending on how short the hairpin is, and then just go straight off. You will know if you've taken the corner well, but if you have a really fast run through the corner, look, I'm not very good at explaining things, but you want to obviously take the racing line the fastest way through the corners, and the fastest way through the corner typically is the least amount of steering input.
We might have some film of that. I'm not sure yet, but it could be, car crash.
I'm not very good at wording. I should give you some coaching when you're there, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true. But
I can do that with Challenge Kdog anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll do it too on the F1 game.
So you heard it here first. Your driving is terrible. Yeah, that was probably about right. But we'll see. We'll see. We might have some footage of how I did at Dalton Barracks in a couple of weeks' time. Great to have Ben on the show again tonight. He's a fascinating young man, and I'm sure you agree, comes across brilliantly on interview. So our thanks to Ben for joining us again tonight. Good luck for the winter, and good luck. Fastest time on a lap this season. Oh, there's a question for you. There you go.
Live question. I don't get those.
Yeah, we've got a live question. It shows we're live.
Well, that's a result, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it's good that it's working. But thank you, Daniel. Fastest lap of the season. In terms of the shortest track in time, I think would be Liddon Hill, around 46 seconds. I want to say something like that. But on a slightly longer track like Snetterton, it was 2-minute 1, something like that. I'll have to look at the official lap charts for that because I can't remember, but it's around those sorts of times. It depends on the length of the circuit, but Silverstone probably is Brands Hatch will be the most improved one across the season. Last year, I couldn't get into the 51s. I was lapping in 52s, but this season, the second time at Brands, I got down to a 50.5. So that's the most improved I've across the from this season to last season, track-wise.
So there's, going back into an interview here, but so there is a really good progression coming in your driving, isn't there? Yeah, that's the encouraging part.
Exactly, it's shown. Even though the results haven't quite shown it across the season, the lap times definitely have shown compared to last season. It's definitely developed, and I'm looking forward to trying to put something together towards the 25 racing season. Hopefully get some funds going and get some additional testing, and that will really boost me into a proper championship contention.
Well, like I say, everybody at Oxsports Unleashed wishes you all the very best. We can assure you, it's always great to have you on. You engage with us a lot, so we thank you for that, Ben. And as you heard, if you're looking to get into Formula 4 driving and you want to sponsor young Ben here, please get in contact with us. We will pass on the information. So, please do if you're looking to do anything like that. It'll be much appreciated.
Be a cheeky plug. I've got different packages and stuff like that. I'm working on ways of trying to get different packages to trying to get people different offers and stuff like that. Not to be just being a pain using this as a sellout for now.
Absolutely. I don't blame you, to be fair. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. So, our thanks again to Ben. And like I say, please do get in contact if you would like to.
Lewis Hamilton, love
yes, there you go. So that takes us to our next feature, which is back to football. and Oxford City continuing their form away at Hereford on Tuesday night, and we've got some highlights and a little interview with their manager again now.
Ross, wow, well, we left it late, but it's a massive 3 points on the road against a very good Hereford team.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a tough game. They're at the top of the league for a reason. They've got loads of threats. We knew that going into the game. We had to really be sort of switched on to what they've got, and I thought the boys did that really well. They've got threat in all areas, and I thought first half was a little bit slow, not much happening within the minutes, but we're going to the half in good spirit. And second half, I thought we controlled the game really well, and we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew that 100%. It's a great stadium to come to under the lights, but we knew we had a job to do. That's being hard to beat, being well structured, and we've got a good counter attack to finish it off.
So, a great interview there with Ben Cox. And I love these little earpiece things, filtering out extraneous noise. I'm going to get in touch with SJB Hearing so I can filter out the wife's nagging. I think it's brilliant, mate. It's a good Christmas present. Fantastic idea. She's not watching, by the way.
Just as well, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Good plug.
Yes.
Did you like that?
Plug. Oh,
sorry. I don't just throw this together, do I? Yeah. Oh, yes, we do.
Indeed. Right. We've got the results service now, haven't we? Comprehensive.
Comprehensive.
Indeed. So, and I'm going to read them out, aren't I? I'm just paying attention.
They're just going to be played.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Results
right.
first.
Yeah, here we go. So, it is a lot. Okay, so let's look at how the results affected the tables for our local football teams there. They should be coming up on the screen fairly soon, I think. And I'll do my best to go through them to see where everybody is. And they are coming up any moment now. Thank you very much indeed. Right then, Oxford United are 16th currently. They were looking a bit wobbly after 2 successive losses, but they got their season back on track with that fantastic win against Hull City. The longest 8 minutes of extra time in my life, that was, the Sam Stadium on Tuesday night. So that's how Oxford United are doing. Meanwhile, in the National League North, Oxford City are out of the relegation zone now. They're up to 19th with 17 points, same as Oxford United, which is great. Premier Central, we've got Banbury United at 9th. And then let's have a look and see in the Division 1 Central, we've got Tame United at 6th, doing really well. But unfortunately, down the bottom we've got North Lee at the moment, and I cannot see Kidlington are 19th too, so both in the relegation zone. Unfortunately, their season isn't going too well, although Kidlington did get a draw midweek. Division 1 South, Didcot Town at 12, and I do like Jamie Heapy. His interviews are always very, very honest as well, so that's where they are in Division 1 South. And the Southern Division, this is the Ladies Women's National League. Oxford United are up to 2nd. And Division 1 South West, Aberdeen United are 11th. Southern Region Women's Football League Premier Division, Oxford City are 2nd, doing extremely well at the moment.
And that will take us quite nicely to the upcoming fixtures for this next weekend. And as you can see, Oxford United on Friday this week, tomorrow night, 8th of November, 8 p.m. kick-off away to Watford. And Oxford City have a home tie against Scarborough Athletic, and that's on Saturday the 9th of November at 3 p.m. And then in the Southern Premier League Central, Banbury United are on their travels to Bishop Stortford, while Didcot Town in Southern League Division 1 South have a home tie against Shaftesbury. And as you can see there in Southern League Division 1 Central, Northley home tie, 3 p.m. kick-off against Hadley. This is Saturday the 9th of November. And Kidlington are also away at Stotfold. And Tame United have a home tie against Northwood. And into the Women's National League Southern Premier, Oxford United, top of the table clash with #United. Important game there at 3 p.m, Sunday the 10th of November. That could be quite a crucial game to see how things pan out for Oxford United going forward. And then Oxford City are playing Shoaling at 2 p.m, and in the Women's National League Division 1 South West, Abingdon United have a home tie against Southampton Women at 3 p.m. So there you go. There's our full roundup of the tables and the upcoming fixtures. And if you want to support your local team, please do and get along if there's a home tie. Some of them are riding high. Some of them need their support where they're sort of struggling a little bit through the season. So please do go along and support if you can. No other place shows that.
That's true, yeah.
So Oxsports Unleashed, as I've mentioned earlier, if you want to be a part of the production team or you want to be a reporter or a budding camera operative, do get in contact again at that address, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. There it is on your screen. Send it to us, and all your clips, any sport, any funny moments, even funny moments supporting sport. We'd love to see that. Please do send those to us. Now, we haven't featured rugby just recently, so sort of on a mini break at the moment. And obviously, Chinner are not allowed to play in the Premier Cup. So they are playing a two-legged affair against Cambridge in not the Premier Cup. And we've got just a little bit of a clip for you from Chinner to advertise the game, which is a week tomorrow, 15th of November, Friday night. Really worth going down, seeing some high-class rugby. Here's the clip now.
What we've done, obviously, to keep the guys interested and motivated, and keep obviously the fans knowing that there's a rugby season going on. And the first of that game is on Friday the 15th of November at Kingsley Road, the home of the mighty Chinner, where the atmosphere does get quite tasty on a Friday night.
Friday night lights at Kingsley Road's a bit of a different atmosphere, so it'll be good to get everyone down. Get off work a bit early, come down, have a couple of beers, have a good time, watch a good level of rugby.
Friday nights here have been amazing the last few years. Great atmosphere, good party afterwards with the DJ, a few beers.
And we will play our championship rivals Cambridge in the first of a two-leg competition that's been coined not the Prem Cup.
It's a good chance to show why we should be in it going forward, I think.
Not the Prem Cup. I absolutely love that. I think it's brilliant. But, it'll be taken seriously. They want to prove that they should be in that cup. And I think it's a really good idea. And like I say, you can get about 2,000 people watching on a Friday night. It's a great atmosphere. Bars open. You can have a couple of bevies. It's well worth a visit. Really high-class rugby is being played there. Just one last little advert for tonight's show, and that goes to Oxford Saints American football. They're recruiting now. Do you have what it takes to be a Saint? There you go. It is at Tilsley Park this Saturday from 12 till 2, and they also do get involved at the Oxford Academy as well, so there is some contact information. Just check the website of Oxford Saints, but if you fancy a bit of American football, Tilsley Park, Saturday 12 till 2, they will be pleased to see you down there. So that's quite an interesting show. I think we've just about done it under the hour. I wonder why that is. And I thank you, Colin, for being the professional.
Thanks,
it's just nice being next to a professional for a change.
Okay. So, big hand to Patrick Lock behind the desk as well for producing tonight.
He's actually done quite well.
Yeah, I like the sheep, so just making an impromptu there. So, and of course,
thanks to everybody that has produced what I think has been a really good show. Our thanks to Blake, Wes, Dan, and obviously Kdog, because he did get a mention in the dodgeball. He was there, wasn't he, at the dodgeball? So our thanks as always to everybody. Thank you for watching. Our thanks to our special studio guest, Ben Cox, who was excellent tonight again. We wish him all the very best for the future. And if you're anywhere out at the weekend, enjoy your sports. The week that India lost 3-0 to New Zealand, and quite a big history in cricketing circles. So that's about it for Ox Sports Unleashed for this week. But please join us again next Thursday, live at 8 o'clock, where we'll unleash some more Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
Good night.